We're 6 years later, and that's 6 years deeper into their marriage, into their friendship, into their partnerships, and into their into their investment.
Why are you laughing?
because you gave me the evil eye, like I was waffling.
Post Amityville.
Post Amityville,
right?
In this, with 6 more years of skepticism, 6 more years of weariness, and
of cases.
And how have each of your characters evolved since we last saw them? Let's start with you.
Well, I think we're in a, Ed's a very protective guy. He was a very protective man of their relationship, and specifically of Lorraine. So I think he knows. You see there's a real discovery that happens in the film, where the case that we referred to in the first one that really traumatized Vera, and that we don't even get into, we discover what that is in this film. So it's a constant search for Ed of how, at what cost is it to help these people? What does it do to Lorraine? And therefore, what does it do to their marriage and their family? Because she's the clairvoyant one. He's a very practical guy, and he's there to, and he knows that each time she deals with one of these entities, it takes a piece of her. So you've seen that really push itself to the point of, is this really worth it? And I think it comes down to that we've never refused a family in need, really. And that's the balance that really goes right up until the climax of the film, is at what cost? How much is this going to divide them?
Yeah, Lorraine as well. We pick up, she's frazzled and she's weary. She's wary of any other case. She's had this vision of Ed, and I think she's caught between that rock and a hard place of knowing that this is what she's meant to do, and not necessarily wanting to do it, and exhaustion, and that's where we pick up. And this comes at a time where one of their trickiest cases is presented to them, which is Enfield.
So, playing these roles, I mean, you have to really kind of come from a very authentic place. Is it? How do you prepare for this, and how is it stepping back into these roles again?
I know for me, I went back and watched the first one.
Did you?
I did, because I wanted to sort of I still had all the homework, all the little dialect things, and all the videos and the tapes, the literally cassette tapes, and I had all that, but I wanted to make sure we sort of matched and picked up from where we left off, because we've both had a lot of different experiences just in life and different roles since then. So that helped getting back into it.
And we did, the first thing we did, the closer we got to production and given our schedules, we went to Lorraine's house, and we broke bread with her, broke meatballs rather, and
broke
just,
meatballs, which is the name of my second album.
And it's just, it immediately gets you into the spirit. You're there with her.
Into an actual spirit, actually.
Now, in playing these roles too, did it change any of your beliefs in this type of phenomenon, or did you have any?
I have no concrete beliefs about this. And, I'm
That's
really
a good
flexible and open. I'm open to other people's openness about it and experience. I mean, I have never been hounded by a poltergeist. I've never been destroyed by.
It's just a series of eyebrows over here. Which is the name of my third album. Series of eyebrows. It's on Decca.
So but I love listening to other people's testimonies, and potentially have access to a certain portion of utilizing a part of the brain that I may not have access to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I find it more fascinating. Buy me not a Coke, because I don't drink Coke. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well,
I don't know, and I'm happy not knowing. But I honor your
I think there's the same amount of openness, truthfully, that there is when you're. For me personally, it's the same amount of openness you have with someone that's had a deeply profound religious experience. I mean, I don't walk into any conversation going, "I don't believe you. This is terrible." You have to go in with there with an understanding of trying to do good, trying to help. What's helpful out of this, and that's the opinion we take. So when you're playing real people, who are devout Catholics and believe in this and use God as their force, as their weapon.
Yeah, it's like akin to, you hear stories all the time about people actually having a demise, living through a demise, living through 2 minutes of their death and then coming back. And then
Exactly.
they have radically different experience. One hears music, one
Exactly.
sees light, one sees, it's so,
Right.
I haven't been there,
Right.
but I can only honor your very personal
Right.
testimony about that. And so that's the approach to the work.
Now, why do you think the first one, Conjuring, was so successul?
Us?
Yeah,
Just
specifically
us.
me. I think there's a lot of wonderful things I do. I think I look at it like this. When you do a film well, first of all, how often do you have a film or really anything that's both critically and commercially successful? It's just, I mean, how often does that happen in your career? Almost never. So, and you have to look beyond that. For me, I think of those fans that came up to me, and I'm sure it came up to Vera as well after the first one, that said, I don't even like horror movies, but I love The Conjuring. And that to me says so much about the film reaching a much broader audience instead of your typical, whatever it is, 18 to 35-year-old male or whatever is a typical horror audience. And I love that. And I think it's, for me, because it's movies, when you think about what sort of defined our youth of The Shining or Poltergeist or Exorcist or those movies in the 70s and 80s, they usually are a much broader scope. It's about a family in trouble, about a mom and a dad, about a son. Because that's actually what people care about. It's nice to be scared, but you have to care about these people. And I think what James really, not only doesn't run from it, he wants it desperately.
Yeah.
Give me the character moments. Give me moments of levity, of light, of love. That's what separates the film from just a
It really
typical
does.
horror movie.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, you have to like them in order to root for them,
Have to.
and
Well, like me.
Yeah.
at least half of us.
Well,
Did you know that Dwayne Johnson was Tim Burton's second choice for the role of Willy Wonka in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which went to Johnny Depp? Do they seriously look alike according to Burton? Who do you prefer as an actor, Depp or The Rock? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to click here for more videos. Thanks for watching.